We're both fresh off our naps.
Got the Zimmer frames parked under the tree, and good to go.
Off we go with another park bench politics. So we're talking royalties today. This is very important to me and you, and also the good party.
And the economy.
Here's the situation. 2 weeks after the last election, the Labor government approved a 45-year extension to the Northwest Shelf gas project. And what that means is that companies like Woodside are going to be able to sell cheap gas to the Chinese, and Australia will earn no money for that at all. At all.
Crazy. Every other resource-rich country in the world charges appropriate royalties. The companies still go there and create their mines and their gas fields, but they pay for it, still make enormous profit. We're in the ridiculous situation where we're now selling gas which is shipped overseas to Japan, and then we are buying back that gas at a profit to Japan for our domestic market. I mean, who's in charge of this? Fire him.
It's just so wrong, isn't it?
And how cynical was it that this came out just after the election?
Well, clearly the government knew this was on the cards, and they've held back.
On the cards and on the nose.
Oh yeah, absolutely on the nose, because it would have had an effect at the polls. The people who care deeply about the environment, and there are a lot of those, be really pissed off about this, because it's going to add 40.3 billion tonnes of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. It is an outrageous thing to do. I bet you that Labor would not have won 93, 94 seats had this been known by the general public before the election. It's appalling.
First, let me fact check you on that. I think it might be 4.3 billion, not 40.3 billion.
I stand corrected.
I want to know is why the hell they did it. Australia's getting no royalties, minimum income tax from these companies. Some of them have paid zero income tax for years. Why would they do it unless there's some form of
legal kickbacks,
funding for election campaigns, all that? And because there's no other reason for a government to do this.
The Federal Treasury released a note recently that not a cent has been paid in resource rent profits tax, and no company involved in the Northwest Shelf has paid a cent of company tax. That is shameful. We cannot fucking give this shit away. It's just ridiculous.
Verging on criminal. The question I'd like to ask is, since it was a point of renewal, that would have been an ideal time to start negotiating proper royalties. It wasn't though the contracts in place, which you really can't break. Sovereign risk is an important thing. If you've got a contract with a company, you've got to honour it. Sure. Otherwise our country and its reputation is not conducive to attracting industries. But this was not. This was the end of a contract. This was a renewal. And just like a lease on a building or anything else, that's when you renegotiate. And they didn't renegotiate. They just handed it over. And that is disgusting.
And kept it a secret from the Australian public. Norway charges royalties on its gas, and as you said, plenty of companies that are still in the North Sea taking gas out of the fields there, and they use the profit from that to sink into their $2 trillion sovereign wealth fund, and the interest from that pays for Norway's education. While in Australia, the government earns more from HECS payments than it does from petroleum resource rent profits tax. It's just appalling. It's so deeply cynical. And as you've said, not necessarily in this podcast, if Australia was charging royalties on its gas, it would fix our budgetary problems in short order.
Yes, we could start paying down that massive national debt.
I'm delighted to hear that it's a major policy plank of the Good Party to do what it can to make the general public aware of the situation with royalties, the positive benefits if we impose them. Again, this is going to be one of those things that the Labor government does nothing about, because it doesn't want to rock the boat. It doesn't want the mining industry to come after it. It's very disappointing.
Yeah. The only voices that you hear on this that are making any sense are David Pocock.
Personal hero of mine.
He is right on top of this, and the Australia Institute. The chance of either of the big parties growing a couple, in this case, is very small. So I think it would be good to get behind the pushy, the Good Party, and get them being pushy on these issues.
And look, if you want change, if you want, a political party to push for this sort of thing, join the good party and let them have at it. We need another party in this country with some balls. And I think the good party has a couple of big iron clangers.
I know, but it also has good female candidates.
With big iron clangers. Female candidates with clangers.
I think
I'm a clanger. I think I'm a clanger.
I think we just